Welcome back. You're watching NewsX. And of course, it's time now for another episode of NewsX Deep Dive with me, Uday Pratap Singh. Today, we're going to take a look at one of the biggest Maoist surrenders in India. 170 Maoist cadres have surrendered to forces today in Chhattisgarh, marking one of the biggest steps towards an end of left-wing extremism in India. The latest surrender comes a day after 27 Maoists, including 10 women, surrendered to security forces in Chhattisgarh's Sukma district. On October 15th, a significant blow was dealt to left-wing extremism in India with the surrender of Malujula Venugopal Rao, a veteran Maoist leader and Politburo member of the banned Communist Party of India Maoist, better known by his aliases Bhupati Sonu or Abhay. This landmark event took place in the insurgency-prone district of Gadchiroli, Maharashtra, in the presence of Maharashtra Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis, Director General of Police Rashmi Shukla and other senior officials at the Gadchiroli Police Headquarters. Accompanying Bhupati were 60 other Maoist cadres, marking this as the largest single surrender of Maoists in Maharashtra's history. Bhupati, who carried a combined bounty of 6 crore rupees announced by 6 states, was one of the most influential strategists in the Maoist organization, overseeing operations along the Maharashtra-Chhattisgarh border. Hailing from Andhra Pradesh, Bhupati spent over 40 to 50 years in the Maoist movement, rising through the ranks to become the former chief of the People's Liberation Guerrilla Army. He was instrumental in the group's propaganda, publications and strategic planning, particularly in the dense forest regions of central India known as the Red Corridor. He was one of India's most wanted Maoist figures linked to major operations like the 2010 Dantewada ambush that killed 76 CRPF personnel. This marked the single largest Maoist surrender in Maharashtra's history, handing over 54 weapons including 7 AK-47s, 9 INSAS rifles, 6 SLRs and other arms. The group received a total reward of 5.24 crore rupees and copies of the Indian Constitution as symbols of reintegration. The Maoist insurgency has plagued parts of India for decades, affecting tribal and rural areas in what was once called the Red Corridor. Maoist-affected areas were unsafe not just for locals but also for journalists and security forces. In fact, in 2018, a Doordarshan journalist along with 2 police officials was killed in a Maoist attack in Chhattisgarh's Dantewada. The journalist documented his last moments, showing how violent and unsafe the situation had gotten. Take a look.
एक रास्ते से जा रहे थे, आर्मी हमारे साथ थी, अचानक घेर लिया है नक्सलियों ने। मम्मी अगर मैं जीवित बचा गनीमत है। मम्मी मैं तुझे बहुत प्यार करता हूँ, हो सकता है इस हमले में मैं मारा जाऊं, परिस्थिति सही नहीं है। पता नहीं क्यों मौत को सामने देखते हुए डर नहीं लग रहा है। बचना मुश्किल है। यहाँ पर 6-7 जवान हैं साथ में, चारों तरफ से घेर लिए हैं। फिर भी मैं यही कहूँगा।
Now in 2025, while the situation remains volatile, it's much safer for civilians. In fact, in a sharp contrast to 7 years ago, my colleague Nibir Deka had visited Chhattisgarh's top Maoist-affected districts for a special documentary that you can access on NewsX's YouTube channel. But for now, take a look at an excerpt from it.
This is a very interior area. We are going to Poverty, which is a CRPF camp is there inside Poverty, and we are going with the CRPF convoy inside these jungles. This is one of the most left-wing extremism affected areas, and you can see the jungles on the left side. It's totally tense area. We are going inside. For the first time, any team has traveled inside such jungles. This comes after the elimination of former General Secretary of Basav Raju. However, there are senior leaders of the CPI Maoist inside the Sukma district, but we are going inside with the CRPF. They have set up new bases here to increase protection in these areas, and the CRPF is extensively working here. Along with that, the BRO is also constructing roads here, and as a result of that, the road connectivity has increased, which is the reason that we have seen a reduction of Naxalism in many parts.
By 2014, the influence of the LWE had expanded significantly, affecting a staggering 182 districts across 8 key states: Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Odisha, Bihar and West Bengal. This extensive network of insurgent activity formed what became infamously known as the Red Corridor, a contiguous belt of forested, hilly and tribal-dominated terrain stretching from the borders of Nepal in the north to the southern tip of Andhra Pradesh, metaphorically linking Pashupati to Tirupati. The term Red Corridor evoked images of a revolutionary pathway, symbolizing the Maoist ambition to connect isolated pockets of rebellion into a unified front against the Indian state. These districts, often remote and underdeveloped, provided ideal hideouts for Maoist cadres who exploited the terrain for hit-and-run operations while garnering support from local populations. Recent years, though, have seen a dramatic turnaround, with the government vowing to eradicate Naxalism by March 2026. In fact, the Ministry of Home Affairs has now revealed that only 3 districts, Bijaypur, Narayanpur and Sukma, remain the most affected by left-wing extremism. As India edges closer to victory, the question looms: will the March 2026 deadline be met, and what's the final push needed? Dr. P.K. Mishra, Additional DG BSF, joins us. Former Additional DG at BSF is live with us on the broadcast. Dr. Mishra, what do you make of this largest ever surrender reported from Maharashtra?
Yes, I can well tell you the surrender took place of Venugopal Bhupati, who surrendered with 61 more Naxalites, he was having a bounty of 6 crores on his head by 6 states. But I can well tell you that it's not only Venugopal surrender, it is the Karaiguta Hill operation. We started for 21 days in Telangana-Chhattisgarh border, where 31 Naxalites were killed and their ration of 2 years were seized, and 125 bunkers were destroyed, and the lathe machine in which they were making weapons, that was also seized. The downfall came from that, and they knew that all these old CPC members, they cannot last long. Of course, Hidma could escape from Karaiguta Hill, but after that, when Karaiguta Hill operation it ended, immediately Basab Raju was killed with 26 more militants, left-wing extremists, and then of course the Venugopal surrender came.
Yes.
Now, they all knew that this operation which Chhattisgarh government has started, that is Nallad, that is your good village, that is you leave this weapons and come to main forum, mainstream, and that has helped, and people are not joining, their kids are not going to Naxalites, and after Karaiguda, they don't have any area to train, no recruitment is taking place, and just see the way the surrender has taken place after even Venugopal, he surrendered in Maharashtra. This is at Sukma, you have 25 of them with one lady, Kantala was also surrendered, and best part of it in Sukma, where 25 of them surrendered, that is Madhvi, Gunia and Sodi. All these the OM Lakhmu was also there, the leader, and all of them were given 50,000 rupees each by government of Chhattisgarh. They wanted to show, yes, you come surrender, you will definitely give you reward and you will come to the mainstream. And after that, it started at Kanker in 40 Battalion BSF. 78 Naxalites, they surrendered with about 43 ladies and about 56 weapons. So their weapons are going dwindling.
Absolutely.
It's only Hidma who is there. I know it pretty well. Hidma cannot go away from Chhattisgarh. He will be killed or he will be forced to surrender. He is the only person who is advising all his members not to surrender and go for the path of fighting against the security forces.
And particularly
Now
this Malajula Venugopal Rao, how
Yeah.
big a feat is it to have him surrender?
No doubt. And in fact, after Venugopal he surrendered, as this surrender process has started, I will just tell you, Uday Pratap, what is going to happen tomorrow morning will be again what has happened at Kanker. 78 of them surrendered after Venugopal surrendered with 61. By tomorrow morning, more than 120 Naxalites are going to surrender in Chhattisgarh. This is the information which is coming. It will be one of the biggest in Indian history. Now, a maximum surrender has taken place in Kanker after Gadchiroli. Now I think tomorrow morning, just watch, I am having the information. So many of them are coming to surrender because the policy of the government for development of the tribal area, for bringing them and settling their houses and construction of the road and communication, and then logistical development of the security forces and their evacuation of casualty of security forces and drones, communication network of drones and satellites being used, and interstate MAC communication. That has helped the anti-Naxal operation in those areas. And I'm very sure what Honorable Prime Minister and Mr. Amit Shah, or Honorable
Yes.
Home Minister,
What about the follow-up steps now? The goal is for
Yes.
2026. What should be the
Yes.
follow-up steps now to make sure
I'm
we
very
achieve
sure-
that goal by 2026, Dr. Mishra?
Yes, I can tell you that what has happened at Gadchiroli. Gadchiroli is clear. Even out of these 3 districts, I am telling you, Sukma is very clear now. Sukma is totally clear after Raju Salam. Raju Salam with 78, they have surrendered. Now it is Dantewada and Vijapur. I am very sure tomorrow morning you see. And our main aim is the security forces will remain in touch with that intelligence network, and the drones should remain alert day and night. And both the states, the Telangana, Chhattisgarh, and Odisha, they should remain together with communication with each other, and we should have anti-Naxal operation in the interior areas. And the best part of it, the tribals in the villages, they are now our informers, and we have to collect the field intelligence. That is what is a must. And I am very sure our intelligence collection should continue. Our anti-Naxal operation should continue. Our Jawans who are already trained in the same terrain, they will remain active
Yes.
for
Okay.
months and months,
Okay.
and they will go for each and every inch of the land to find out this leader.
All right, Dr. Mishra,
particularly
appreciate
Rima.
you joining us with your perspective on this big story. Let's slip into a short break on that note.